You rose beyond every limit they tried to impose, rewriting your story in the face of doubts, underestimations, and manipulations. The woman you loved, the one you trusted, underestimated your value and manipulated your loyalty. Her words cut deep, her control suffocating, and her demands drained the very essence of who you were. She built a world where your needs were secondary, your dreams dismissed, and your worth reduced to how well you served her. But your freedom wasn't just an escape, it was a revolution. She never imagined you would leave, that you would choose yourself over the toxic framework she had constructed around you. To her, you were a resource, a lifeline she believed would never break. But when you decided to walk away, you shattered the illusion she had built. You didn't just leave, you dismantled an entire system of manipulation and control. Your departure wasn't quiet, it was seismic. The moment you stepped away, her control crumbled. She relied on your fear, your loyalty, and your love to keep you trapped, but she underestimated the quiet storm building within you. When you finally walked away, she was left scrambling to fill the void you created. Her reactions were a chaotic dance of disbelief, denial, and anger. She tried to dismiss your transformation, claiming it was temporary, but deep down, she knew the truth. You had become untouchable. She couldn't replicate your growth because it came from a place of authenticity and resilience she lacked. The greatest irony? She never saw your worth until you removed it from her life. She thought you'd crawl back, defeated by the challenges of independence. But instead, you soared. You reclaimed your time, your energy, and your sense of self. You became a living testament to the power of choosing yourself, a reflection of everything she could have been, but chose not to become. Your freedom forced her to confront herself. She saw her own emptiness mirrored in your success. She tried to dissect your every move, to understand how you found the strength she lacked. But her attempts to imitate your journey were hollow. Your growth wasn't about proving her wrong, it was about becoming who you were always meant to be. She may call you selfish or cold, but those labels are her way of deflecting from the real issue. She lost control. You didn't just expose her tactics, you dismantled them. Every guilt trip, every subtle manipulation, every thread of control she tried to weave around you burned to ashes the moment you chose freedom. And now she's left with the ruins of her schemes while you move forward, untethered and unstoppable. You've become her reckoning, a reminder that her control was always an illusion. Your strength, your independence, your peace, she envies it because it shines a light on her own limitations. You've left her behind, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Your life is no longer shaped by her expectations or her doubts. You've rewritten the narrative, one act of courage at a time. She may replay the past, clinging to the idea of who you once were, but she'll never touch the version of you that emerged from the fire. Your freedom is a statement, a revolution, and most importantly, a promise to yourself. Never again will you let anyone define your worth or your destiny. Your light doesn't just shine, it exposes. Her attempts to hold you back were never about your flaws. They were a desperate effort to mask her own insecurities. Your growth disrupts her carefully constructed illusions of superiority. Watching you thrive, untethered and unapologetic, unsettles her because it confirms what she has denied for so long. Her control was never your anchor, it was your cage. Every act of self-liberation has a price, and you paid it with your tears, your doubts, and your heartache. Yet each step forward proved the cost was worth it. You shed the weight of her manipulations, her guilt trips, and her suffocating expectations. What you gained was far greater, the unshakable foundation of self-worth, a life that is truly your own, and a resilience forged in the fires of adversity. The journey wasn't easy. Nostalgia often whispered in your ear, painting rosy pictures of the good times that once existed. Moments of laughter, fleeting as they were, tried to cloud your clarity. But deep down, you knew that staying would mean sacrificing your soul, drowning in a sea of her demands and emotional traps. Choosing yourself wasn't selfish, it was necessary. Her world, once so meticulously crafted to keep you bound, is now a hollow shell. She sees your absence as an affront to her power, an unbearable void that mirrors her deepest fears. Her attempts to reassert control falter, for you have become untouchable. She tries to rewrite the narrative, painting herself as the victim and you as the villain. But those who truly know the story see through her charade. Your transformation is her greatest challenge. It forces her to confront the truth she has long avoided, her own insecurities, her dependence on control, and the emptiness within her. She cannot replicate your strength because it stems from a place she has never dared to explore. A place of self-awareness, authenticity, and true courage. While she may envy your freedom, she remains trapped by her own choices, her own fears. For every step you take forward, her presence fades further into the past. The power she once held over you is now just a memory, a shadow of what was. You have reclaimed not only your life, but your narrative. Your story is no longer about survival in her world, but about thriving in your own. Each moment of independence, every new achievement, is a testament to your resilience and your refusal to be defined by her limitations. Keep rising, keep shining. She can only watch as you continue to defy expectations, shatter boundaries, and live a life that is authentically yours. Let her envy serve as a reminder of how far you've come. You are no longer bound by her cage. You are free, and that freedom is your ultimate triumph. When she sees you free and untouchable, she doesn't just see your success, she sees the reflection of everything she isn't. Your liberation highlights her stagnation. Your authenticity exposes her facades. Your courage mocks her fears. She might try to mimic you, imitating the external markers of your freedom, but she fails because she lacks the foundation you've built. She doesn't understand that your strength wasn't born of rebellion alone, but from self-awareness and an unrelenting refusal to compromise your soul. She wants the rewards without the struggle, the transformation without the sacrifice. Others like her might feel shame, though they rarely admit it. Your independence reminds them of the opportunities they ignored and the fears they allowed to guide them. She sees in you the version of herself she could have been if only she had chosen differently. But her discomfort isn't your burden to carry. Your freedom is a mirror. She can't escape. In her attempts to undermine you, she reveals her desperation. She questions your authenticity, downplays your success, and rewrites the narrative to suit her insecurities. She paints herself as a victim of your rise, framing your growth as a fluke. But her efforts fall flat because the truth is undeniable. You rose while she stayed stagnant. Her envy is her burden, not yours. It's a reflection of the choices she made, the comfort she prioritized over growth, and the fear that kept her tethered. Your task isn't to heal her wounds or ease her discomfort. Your only job is to keep rising, keep thriving, and keep proving that greatness isn't a privilege. It's a choice. Stay vigilant. Protect your energy. Her attempts to drag you back will fail because she lacks authenticity, and nothing she does can diminish the strength you've cultivated. You owe her no explanations, no justifications. Your freedom is a force of nature, unyielding, unapologetic, and unstoppable. Let her envy serve as a reminder of how far you've come, always chasing but never catching. Let her envy be the shadow to your light. Keep rising, keep shining. She can only watch. Walking away from an abusive relationship with a narcissistic woman comes with a weight few can understand until they've carried it themselves. You left behind not just her, but pieces of yourself you had given to her. Your loyalty, your love, your energy. It wasn't easy. The bonds you severed weren't superficial. They were forged through shared history, moments of trust, and vulnerabilities she exploited. But those bonds also became chains, and leaving meant breaking them, even as the shards cut into your heart. Nostalgia has a way of whispering lies, trying to pull you back with memories of better times, moments of laughter, and fleeting connections that felt genuine. Guilt creeps in, questioning your choice, making you wonder if you were too harsh, too selfish, too unyielding. But you know the truth. Staying would have meant sacrificing yourself to keep those moments alive, clinging to fragments while your spirit crumbled under the weight of her manipulation. The pain is real, but so is the clarity that comes with it. Walking away wasn't about abandoning her. It was about choosing you. It meant accepting that the relationship drained your light, suffocated your growth, and kept you small. The sacrifices you made were not losses, they were exchanges. You gave up the familiar to gain the infinite. Let go of her expectations to embrace your freedom. Liberation always demands a price, and you paid it with your tears, your longing, your doubts. But the reward was yourself, unbound and unstoppable. You walk alone, not because you have to, but because you choose to. The path of the lone wolf is not one of isolation. It is one of mastery. Solitude sharpens you, teaching you the lessons that the noise of the crowd drowns out. You've learned to listen to your own instincts, to trust your inner voice, and to rely on your strength. There's power in moving through the world untethered, unbound by the expectations of others. Your independence isn't a retreat, it's a declaration that your freedom is non-negotiable. The lone wolf is feared not because they are alone, but because they are whole. Others see your solitude and mistake it for loneliness, yet they cannot deny the power you exude. They don't understand that your choice to walk alone is rooted in self-respect, in refusing to accept less than what aligns with your truth. Your freedom unsettles them because it challenges their reliance on external validation, exposing the hollow spaces where their own strength should reside. And yet your presence fascinates them. They watch you, drawn to the mystique of someone who thrives beyond their grasp. They wonder how you find peace in your silence, how you grow stronger without their approval. It's simple. Your solitude is not emptiness, it's sovereignty. Drop a howl, I thrive alone. Your power grows in the quiet places others fear to tread. Let them wonder. You've already proven that the lone wolf fears nothing, not even themselves. Your absence is more powerful than your presence ever was, forcing her to confront the void you once filled. She sees the spaces you occupied, your energy, your loyalty, your efforts, and is now left to face the truth of how she mishandled it. For some, regret takes root. She replays her choices, every word, every action, and realizes too late what she lost. Her guilt is a weight she cannot escape, a constant reminder of her failure to value you when she had the chance. But not all reflections lead to growth. For others, bitterness rises to the surface, a shield against the shame of their own shortcomings. She doubles down on her narratives, casting you as the villain to justify her behavior. She clings to the idea that your departure was the problem, refusing to acknowledge the cycles of manipulation, neglect, or control she perpetuated. Her denial doesn't change the truth. It only traps her in the very stagnation you escaped. Your growth is a ripple that touches everything. She sees you thriving and is forced to reckon with the fact that her presence wasn't essential to your success. Some will quietly try to imitate your steps, hoping to taste the freedom you've claimed, while others will stew in resentment, unable to admit they were the architects of their own limitations. Either way, your transformation exposes them, holding up a mirror they cannot turn away from. Her reactions are irrelevant. Your growth speaks for itself. You're not just the one who got away. You're the one who ascended, defying every limit she tried to impose. You didn't leave quietly. You left boldly, carving a path that shook the foundations of her control. She underestimated your strength, dismissed your resilience, and failed to see the fire that was building within you. Now, as you stand in your power, you are more than a memory. You are a force she cannot ignore. Your freedom is more than your own. It's a message to anyone still bound by expectations, manipulation, or fear. By choosing yourself, you've shown that liberation is not only possible, but necessary. You become a testament to the unyielding spirit, an example of what it means to refuse anything that doesn't align with your truth. Your light disrupts, inspires, and demands acknowledgement, even from those who would rather deny your transformation. Keep moving forward, unapologetically free, unbound, and unshaken. Let the whispers of doubt, envy, or regret fade into irrelevance as you continue to rise. She can watch, she can wonder, but she cannot stop the momentum you've built. Your story matters. Share your truth, your struggles, and your victories. Your words will inspire others who need the reminder that freedom is within reach. Let them hear your voice, see your strength, and know that the path you've walked is not only yours, it's a call for others to awaken. Keep shining, men. The world needs you. If this message resonates with you, please don't forget to like and subscribe.